Hi everyone, I'm Jason Adcock from Adcock Prestige and welcome to our live event here this morning. It's going to go for around about 30 minutes and we're answering questions that have been sent in over the last 24 hours from both buyers and sellers in the Brisbane Prestige property market. We're going to get straight onto it. Holly's going to be asking me the questions today that have been sent in over the last 24 hours. What's the first question, Holly?
What do I need to do to prepare my house for sale?
What do I need to do to prepare my house for sale? Well, look, what we do advise people to do is probably employ the services of a company that specialises in getting these properties ready for sale. We use a company by the name of Titan 360. We've been using them for the last 5 or 6 years. And the beauty of Titan 360 is they have all trades. They employ around about 40 people on staff, so there's no subcontractors. They've got people that can do painting, they've got people that can do handyman work, they've got people that can do cleaning, landscaping, all of that. So what we generally do is we employ the services of Titan 360. We come out and assess the house, and you know they're usually out within around about 24 hours of making the call. They come back to us within another 24 hours and they give us a quote on what needs to be, on what we've quoted on what needs to be done. Generally, what I'm telling people these days is fresh liquor paint is absolutely fantastic. It does absolute wonders, both inside and out. If the carpets are more than, say, 10 or 12 years old, I would recarpet. What I'd also do is I'd have professional cleaning done on all the hard surfaces around, you know, the driveway, the pool. I'd do the external cleaning of the house, and I'd also do the windows inside and out. What we also recommend is we do a full intensive bond clean on the house before we put it on the market. And look, generally that does make an amazing difference. You know, paint, carpet, cleaning, you know, windows and outside, and your gardens, and look, you're good to go.
What percentage of sales are from existing contacts versus new specific inquiries?
Okay, so the question was what percentage is existing clients in our database or new inquiries? Well, look, that's a very interesting question. Currently, we've got around about 16,000 buyers on our Prestige database that are receiving information via email and text from us every single week. I'd say probably 1 in 3 of our sales over the last 12 months has been from our database, of that 16,000 on the database, and the rest have been found, you know, using our extensive marketing, you know, through obviously digital media marketing on Facebook, Instagram, Google display ads, realestate.com.au, and obviously in the courier mail on Saturdays. What's the next question, Holly?
Do I need to get my home styled prior to selling?
Do I need to get my home styled prior to selling? Well, that's a resounding yes from me. Probably 95% of our clients that sell through Adcock Prestige have their homes exclusively styled through a company called the Brisbane Makeover Company. They are probably the best styling company in Brisbane. We've been using them for the last 7 years and the results have been absolutely fantastic. They were the company that styled the property that I sold in Indooroopilly just before Christmas for $12 million. That was probably the biggest styling job that they've ever done. They styled it from tip to toe, and look, the results speak for themselves. The property was sold for a couple of million more than what the sellers were wanting. They were wanting 10 million, we got 12, and it was sold in 7 days. So the styling really does transform the place into a place that connects with buyers. And a lot of the time, the buyers, after they've bought these properties, are wanting to buy the furniture as well because, you know, it suits the property so well. So yes, I believe you really do need to style your property if you're in the prestige property space at the moment, because you need to make sure that you stand out from everyone else and it creates an emotional connection with the buyer. What's the next question, Holly?
What method of sale do you prefer, auction or by negotiation?
Well, that's a no-brainer. What method of sale do I prefer, auction or by negotiation or sale by private treaty? Basically, nearly every single property that we're taking to the market at the moment over the last 12 months has been by auction. And I believe currently, and the statistics are proving it, you're getting 10 to 15% more if you sell via auction compared to by negotiation or private treaty. Some of the properties that we have sold in recent times have got up to $1 million over reserve at auction. But currently at the moment, the interesting statistic is 60 to 70% of our properties are selling prior to auction. They're not even going the whole distance. And the reason for that is a lot of these buyers have gone to these auctions. It's gone way above what they thought it would go for. They've missed out on around about 3 or 4 properties. And then all of a sudden, another property comes up for auction. It's on the market for 24, 48 hours, sometimes 3 or 4 days. They want to shut it down. They want to make sure that they've got certainty. And what they're doing is they're throwing in offers on what they would pay at auction. And hence the 60 or 70% of these properties selling prior to auction at the moment. What's the next one, Holly?
The current market is great to sell, but what about buyers? When should I buy and why?
So that question was the selling market is great, but what about the buyers? Is it a good time to buy or should I wait? Well, here's my perspective on the current prestige property market at the moment. We had the borders opened up in Queensland on the 14th of December to all the people from New South Wales and Victoria, and also the international borders have now been opened up. What I've seen is a massive influx of buyers from Sydney and Melbourne, and also expats coming back from overseas. I think they are going to drive the prices up even further over the next 6 to 12 months. So my advice, if you're standing on the sidelines as a buyer and thinking the market's going to falter, it's not, particularly in the prestige sector. My advice is if you see something that you like out there in the marketplace at the moment that resonates with your family, lock it down. Make sure you take it out, because what you pay today is going to be far cheaper than what you're going to pay in 6 months' time. What's the next one, Holly?
What is your most memorable sale and why?
My most memorable sale and why? Well, that's a very hard one, because I've made about 2,500 sales in the last 28 years, and nearly everyone's a memorable one, but it would probably have to be the sale that we made just before Christmas at 78 Gilbert Street at Indooroopilly. We sold it for $12 million. The first open house, we had 162 groups of people through the open house. We actually had billionaires walking through the open house. You don't generally have open houses on properties that are $12 million, but it worked a treat with this particular property. We're getting inquiry from overseas, interstate, but in the end, we ended up having 4 offers on the table, and it sold in just a few days. But the most amazing statistic out of all of this, from launch until settlement, was 19 days for a $12 million place. And it did break the auction sale record for Brisbane, which was previously 9.91 million. So that would definitely have to be the most memorable sale, and it just only happened a couple of months ago, Holly. What's the next one?
Why did you get into real estate?
Here we go. Why did I get into real estate? A lot of people don't probably know this, but I used to be in the restaurant industry. I had restaurants at both Rosalie and Graceville called the Contented Tummy. And during those years, I was buying and selling properties. I was flipping them every 12, 18 months, and sometimes we were doubling our money. So I'd always had a keen fascination to the industry. But what I really wanted to do is, if I got into the real estate industry, I really wanted to sell the nicer homes. They really resonate with me. You can get really excited about selling, grand riverfront homes or penthouses, or some of these beautiful properties that I've been selling lately. One that we just sold at Clayfield at 43 Union Street the other day. Beautiful big property on 3,000 square metres. Just broke the suburb record for Clayfield and sold 24 hours prior to auction. But yeah, look, I love meeting all the different people. They have got a different story, all of them. They're all very, very successful entrepreneurial types of people. They make decisions quickly, and they understand the value of employing a specialist agent that knows about marketing. So it's meeting the people, coming up with these great marketing campaigns, digitally and both print, to get these great results. So I'm more excited now than what I was 28 years ago to be representing these fine homes. What's the next one, Holly?
What did you do before real estate?
Well, I just answered that before, but I'll answer it again. I was in the restaurant industry for around about 6 years. We had those restaurants at both Graceful and Rosalie, the Contented Tummy. They were fond memories. Interesting statistic as well, and a little bit of information. I sold the Contented Tummy at Graceful to a gentleman by the name of Peter May, who now actually is in real estate, and he's doing very, very well. He's got a place at Graceful. I actually got him into real estate all those years ago. 6 years after I sold him the restaurant, he was at a loose end. I called him from Noosa one day and said, "You know what, Pete? I think you'd be great in real estate." So there's a little bit of a backstory on what I used to do and who's been involved since.
What are your predictions for the property market over the next year?
What are my predictions for the property market in the next year? These are my predictions. I believe this massive interstate migration from both New South Wales, Victoria, and all of these people relocating back from overseas, these expats, is definitely going to be a contributing factor for the prestige property market still continuing to rise over the next 12 months. I'm predicting the high end in Brisbane will experience a 10 to 14% increase this year in 2022. And it's already happening at the moment. 50% of the people that are coming through our open houses at the moment are either from Sydney, Melbourne, or expats coming back from overseas. I've never seen those percentages ever in my 28 years in real estate. So my predictions are it's going to increase, and my advice to both buyers and sellers is come to the market. You won't be disappointed.
How has COVID affected the market?
How has COVID affected the market? Well, I can tell you now, in the prestige property sector that I play in Brisbane, it has been absolutely incredible what it's done to the prestige property market. It has made people value their place of home more than ever. What they're wanting in a home now is more space. They're wanting the bigger blocks. They're wanting the bigger homes. They're wanting work from home areas for both the husband and the wife. They're wanting all the lifestyle features that a home can offer if they're not going to be able to travel as much as what they did. So they're looking for something that fits the family and, is like a holiday at home. And the amount of upgrading that's going on at the moment locally is the most that I've ever seen in all my life. So COVID has made us believe that and made us realise is the home is a very special place for our families. And if we're going to be staying a lot more time there, both working from home and staying there, they want a better property. So that's what COVID's done. That's why the real estate market has really boomed in Brisbane in the last 18 months to 2 years. What's the next question, Holly?
Is it worth employing the services of a buyer's agent in the current market?
Is it worth employing the services of a buyer's agent in the current market? That's a very good question. And I've got to say, in the current market, where properties are selling sometimes within days and a week or a couple of weeks, I would highly recommend buyers out there in the marketplace employ the services of a buyer's agent. We work very closely with probably the premier buyer's agency in Brisbane, and that's Cohen Handler. We've done a lot of deals with them recently, including one that we've just sold at Laurel Avenue at Chelmer. They were able to supply the buyer on that one there, and that went for $4.3 million. The gentleman that we generally deal with at Cohen Handler is a gentleman by the name of Jordan Navybox, and he is the best in the business when it comes to buyer's agents in the Brisbane prestige sector. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in to our live questions. I hope you got something out of it, and we look forward to seeing you. We're going to do this every 2 weeks. We look forward to seeing you in another 2 weeks. Adios. How'd that go?